VCR Redux will begin in T-minus 5 minutes.
What the fart is VCR Redux?
It's the show where we take movies from the VCR era and bring them back to today.
Well, how do we do that?
Well, we start by talking about a VHS classic, and usually you'll say something like,
I haven't been this uncomfortable since I watched Meatballs 4, Meatballs to the Rescue with my parents. Oh yeah, or you'll say something stupid like,
I wish we lived in a world where the Garbage Pail Kids made as many movies as the Muppets.
but I know you'll always see it through with a positive attitude.
I hate this movie, I hate being here, I hate all of this. Oh, Jamie Kennedy. Oh, well, shit. Well, let's go for this.
He was in Son of Mask. This is genius.
I am not a gamer. I'd rather read books. I'm just
He's like the old lady that's like, I got video game monsters, I got video game monsters in here.
As long as we respect the passion and the artistry that went into these films.
You know, obviously they took this movie, it's 93, right? And you're like, what do you want to see in your Mario movie? And they're like, oh, we want it to be grim, we want a lot of death, we want tits and ass.
Oh, and then we start the pitch ideas with modern day sequels like
Weekend at Bernie's 3, Cocaine Mountain.
Sometimes we take it kind of seriously.
I'll watch a Paul Verhoeven alien movie.
Oh my gosh, that alien will have more vaginas than anything you've ever seen in your life. Sometimes this Hawaiian shirted fool will pitch something stupid like,
I would take out the virtual reality stuff and just have it be about Jeff Fahey mowing the lawn.
Sometimes the best pitches come from the live chat.
Alex Bonafonte also pitches Grand Theft Starfighter Vice Galaxy.
Wait, I thought I had the best pitches.
And what happens at the end of the movie? The ultimate fart. The fart that the warmth goes like all the way down to your socks.
The only rules are, there are no rules. Sometimes we cross over franchises.
Only the truck from Tango and Cash can kill Christine.
And sometimes we travel back in time.
Like 1995 is missing a good Universal Soldier sequel.
But you never know what we're gonna pitch next.
What do you want Daniel Stern behind like a muzzled mask? Like,
We all know it should be Pesci behind the mask, and like underneath the mask, you should hear him going like fritter, 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 fritter.
You are so proud of yourself for that one. I can't stand you.
I would also love to see a Charles Bronson version of It's a Wonderful Life.
What?
Direct to DVD.
If you made a shot-for-shot remake of Scarface with Goofy as Al Pacino, it would be amazing. Gosh, you need me to be the bad guy.
It's like the worst 1987 Disney movie Disney's ever made. Schlongo, directed by Jim Wynorski.
Like, I would watch a whole bowl of that.
Do the John Holmes story. Add a comedy spin to it.
Wow, the Wonderland murders are so funny.
I'd watch it on my mobile.
Something happens and he goes into a coma. He gets like, hit by a car or something. I know this is dark, but like, bear with me. He's got to go on.
Did you just go like Hard to Kill with Ferris Bueller?
I'd watch it on my iPad.
If you want to just like throw in the kitchen sink, I mean, it all works. Like Alien vs. Predator vs. RoboCop, like that works. Alien vs. Predator vs. Terminator, that works.
Alien vs. Predator vs. Ernest, that works.
That works.
I respect everything you just said. I need David Silver and Terry Silver and the Sloan family all learning the Quicksilver, but they're doing it in Breakin' 3 Hydraulic Boogaloo, and it's underwater. It's gonna be incredible. Eat your fucking shit out, James Cameron. I got the underwater movie you can't touch.
That was the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life.
Mr. Toxie Goes to Washington.
My ass would be in the theater tomorrow.
If Harley Quinn gets 7 movies, then Tank Girl should get at least 70.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of in my life.
I mean, why should we even bother with Look Who's Talking when Air Bud is soaring to new highs?
All I know is I want Danny McBride.
I'd want him doing anything other than writing Halloween movies, honestly. Anything that keeps him away from that fucking job, I'm for it.
Just let him talk out of his butt. I don't care how he does it.
I'd rather not.
Austin Powers doing the Macarena.
That would be the opening credits. Come on.
But we have not yet had Die Hard on a half pipe. What if John McClane Jr. was a pro skateboarder and also an avid machine gun enthusiast? Skater Die Hard.
What up, virtual people? Welcome to the 181st episode of VCR Redux, where we take your favorite franchises out of the analog era and bring them back to 2025. I'm your host, pop culture punk Chris Stiles, joined as always by my co-host with the most complaints, film professor Ian Klink.
They pushed me.
And the third leg of our VCR tripod himself. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. Mac Daddy Mickey Torres is Mick back on the show.
What's up, everyone?
And rounding out this righteous crew, the VCR's favorite champion of Street Fighter II Pop Punk Edition, Steven Zangief Anderson, is back on the show.
Hello.
You look like a background character in Street Fighter.
That's how this name stuck. I like it. I'm starting to get into it.
We are here today to go crazy for a deceased Swayze, to win Whoopi an Academy Award, and to make thirsty 90s moms everywhere sign up for pottery classes. That's right, folks. This world needs ghosts too, and we're here to give it to you. But before Ian starts talking about the ghosts of gas stations past, we got to dish on how ghosts came into our lives and what we love about it. And of course, that goes double for you at home and everyone watching the live chat. Was it Love at First Laserdisc, Vital VHS? Hit us up in the chat and let us know how ghosts came into your lives. But Steve, when did you first get ghosted?
So this is funny. I had to look it up just to make sure this wasn't like a false memory. But my original copy of Ghost was a VHS copy I got from McDonald's.
Yes.
There it is. McDonald's had that weird whatever, and
There it is.
Because I've just never, I had the white box, right? I believe it's mostly white box.
Why did they have Ghost as a happy meal?
It was a Paramount deal. You got Wayne's World. It was Wayne's
Addams Family.
Adam's Family, and
I remember Adam's Family.
And there was something else in there.
There was at one point they had Back to the Future. I know there was that.
There was a Universal one that had Field of Dreams, Back to the Future. A couple, they did a couple of deals, but I remember the Paramount one had Wayne's World.
Yeah,
the only one of those I ever got was Ghost. So I was like, well, this is mine. Obviously, this is a Happy Meal toy. But I gotta say, I remember from the get being like, this is rad. Movie's fucking rad. Like, this is not, what you would expect them to do with Demi Moore and Patrick Swayze at this time in a fucking romantic drama.
It's one of those movies that's kind of out of nowhere, and you wouldn't have expected it from any of, I feel like, the principal people involved, at least of all Jerry Zucker, of like Police Squad and Naked Gun fame, of Zucker, Abrams, and Zucker. But that's always kind of part of what I loved about this movie. I also feel like you probably wouldn't have even gotten this greenlit if Beetlejuice didn't make like a shitload of money a couple years before this and like start kind of getting this like undead, supernatural, paranormal thing. You know what I mean? Like, well, it just wasn't like a genre,
Real quick, it's kind of a genre, but this one does it a lot differently. Like, this kind of falls into that genre of like the Lake House or like or like Michael. You know what I mean? These weird. Like romantic comedies, but I know, like that same kind of movie.
Yeah,
and they did have similar ones. There's a supernatural element, but they don't give a shit about that. You know what I mean? Like, it's really about the love connection between this crazy figure that has wild existential meaning behind it, but they don't touch on any of that shit because it's more important that the two of them hit it off and it's cutesy and whatever. But this one does a much better job of actually taking the core concept that they used and world building, like, from his point of view. Like, after that, like, there's a lot of cool shit to this.
Oh, there's a ton of cool shit to this. And I'm kind of surprised it wasn't marketed as like, for the girls that like Dirty Dancing and the guys that love Ghostbusters or something. Like I could have seen it sort of being sold that way. But what about Mickey? Is this you're a bit too young for this to be a McDate?
This is horrible. I saw this.
What a great start. This is good.
Is Mickey playing the heel tonight?
Dude, this is straight trash. There's like there is Whoopi.
This never happens.
This is Whoopi Goldberg, which I don't like. This is like, a lame ass attempt at some kind of romance. This is just horrible. I saw this on HBO because I wouldn't even be dead, call it dead paying for this. I'm like,
Wow. That is
And
Throw out
I'm-
the
odd.
Happy Meal.
and I'm Mr. Rom like that. Like it's blasphemous. I like Michael, but I don't like this shit. I'm like,
Now I believe it.
come on,
It
come
all
on.
makes sense when you said
No,
you
come
like
on.
Michael. I love you.
And you
Um,
no, you're not a Whoopi
Nobody
Goldberg
likes
fan, huh?
Michael.
No, I
The
can't-
Michael
No,
like
that movie's
Michael.
dog shit. Yeah.
I cannot
Outta here.
stand Whoopi Goldberg in anything
Really?
that she does. As a person, I like Whoopi Goldberg. Like like her
As
views
an
or whatever it
actress, you
is.
don't like her. Huh?
At her views and everything like that, and on The View, she's fine. But I just never thought her comedy was funny. Never liked any of her movies.
Not even
Didn't wanna
Theodore
see-
Rex. That wasn't. No.
Didn't want to see her in. Didn't want to see her in TV on anything that wasn't just her being real.
I'm
Like I
just
don't want her
saying
playing a
if-
character.
If Eddie is going to be ignored by the Academy Awards, then what are we even doing here? You know?
You know
What are
what?
we
It's
even
funny.
doing?
You know, Mickey, you say that. I get what you're saying.
You're turning-
I
you're
Of course,
turning in on the
of course
movie
you get
already.
it.
No. He and I are completely opposites on this movie. You got Professor Klink on board for this one, but
Oh.
I get the Whoopi Goldberg thing. There was always a, how do I word it? I don't know if smug is the right word, but there's always, like I love Jumping Jack Flash, but like Burglar and Telephone, there's this.
She's done some bad movies, but she always plays the same role in them.
It's not even bad. It's not really ha ha laugh out loud. It's like you're
Yeah.
supposed to just like Whoopi because she's Whoopi.
Do you ever get the sense that she doesn't like anything that's written on the script and that she's just phoning it in? You never get that
No.
sense. I get that
Nah,
sense every
really?
time. Like this is
I
just
think
like
she's like, you've seen these Sister Act movies, right?
they're fucking horrible. Come on.
Not that
man.
they're not horrible, but she's not.
Wow.
She's not phoning that in. I wouldn't think.
It's just
I get what, but I get what you're saying because even I don't think she won the Oscar for Ghost. If you want my honest opinion, this was
this was a Don Amici win. You're saying?
I think this was you are a comic genius. You are fresh. The Color Purple was the most amazing thing ever, but you were too new for us to give you the Academy Award. Because that,
Yeah.
that
That would've made
performance,
sense.
The Color Purple is beyond.
Yeah, she
So
does not play
that-
Whoopi Goldberg in that.
She is Seeley. I mean
that is the exception of the Whoopi Goldberg movies. Like I love The Color Purple, and again, I agree.
Well,
She should have won for The Color Purple.
she should have won for Bordello.
Yeah, obviously she shouldn't have won a
fucking
Academy
Bordello
Award
blood, you
for
bastard.
Ghost. It's ridiculous. That's Chris said that to me. We were watching it. Wherever he turns to me, and he goes, "You mean fucking somebody won an Academy Award." I can't remember what scene it was. Fuck, it was
But
just
she's
like one of
a
those.
powerhouse.
Damn, baby, what you do to your
Yes,
hair?
that's what it. Yeah. And
I will say this though, she is a powerhouse in this
Orlando.
movie.
Yeah, I think she can.
And so I get sometimes they do that. I mean, it's the Cuba Gooding Jr. Got the award. Not because I think he did an amazing job in Jerry Maguire, but he just comes off that screen at you. And I do think Whoopi in this movie does that. I don't think it's an amazing performance that 10 other people couldn't do, because that's always my statement. You should have won the Academy Award because nobody else could have done that role. Tom Hanks is the only person I know who could have done Forrest Gump.
Right.
Oh, that's okay.
That's
That's a fair point, honestly.
Anthony Hopkins is the only one who could have done him.
Don't you? Oh, fuck you, Brian Cox. Brian Cox did the same performance years earlier in Manhunter.
Who is the film snob now? You
Get the fuck. You're gonna shit on
I'm done with
Manhunter
you.
on my watch. This will
I'm
this will not stand, man.
Okay, Red Dragon.
This aggression.
The point
No.
I have though is that I do think that that's how I base the Academy Awards. If you did a role that nobody else could have done, that's why I really stand by that Michael Keaton should have won the Best Supporting Actor for Beetlejuice in 1988. Nobody could have done Beetlejuice.
The Oscars are bullshit.
You know,
I couldn't agree. I couldn't
Whoopi-
agree more with everything you guys are saying.
So, like,
Honestly, totally agree.
Whoopi's role in this, I don't think somebody else couldn't have done this.
Of course they could have. But you know what she brought to it was needed for this movie.
It was, yes. I do agree with you on that. I think
it's true. It's true. But I think Ian you're really onto something, because there's always these actors that I feel like I can't believe, and I always go to Pat Morita as Mr. Miyagi, that I can't believe he didn't fucking win for that. When like Mr. Miyagi is one of the most iconic and
best supporting actor as opposed
best
to
supporting actor, yeah. Come on, you know, like that's what it was, best supporting. He wasn't up for best actor. But and then things like you know, Christopher Lloyd doesn't even get a nomination. No one could have played Doc Brown that way.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like it's a role that they were meant to play. Now I'll argue. I think Whoopi Goldberg, in the way that this version, she's perfectly for that role. She is the humorist, the bank scene. I mean, it is comedy gold, right? But you know, there's I think a lot of people could have done it. I think that she got it because it's just she had done the work, she had done the
there's a lot of that though, right?
Yeah,
There's a lot of like,
course,
this might be his last Academy Award. We're gonna give it to him for something that you're like, what the fuck is that?
John Wayne did not deserve the Oscar for True Grit. John Wayne deserved an Oscar just because he was in John Wayne and he was in The Searchers, and
that happens. That happens a lot when they don't award an actor for a piece of work that they should have won, and then later years down the road they do something else and they win it for that, and it's just like, what?
I mean, like, if Demi Moore wins the Oscar, I don't think it's going to be for the substance, although probably a great performance. I haven't seen it, but
fucking better be.
I think it's
incredible.
Because, I mean, because you remember Demi Moore from freaking About Last Night. You remember Demi Moore from Indecent Proposal.
Yeah, that's why I think she will win the Oscar for the substance. To be honest, I think if it was anyone else, probably not. It might not even be up there with the nominations or whatever. It should be. It's a really nice turn for them, but at the same time, it's also a good excuse for them to be like, this is a great, best actress, like whatever Demi Moore should have gotten.
Exactly.
So we'll give it to her for this, and that's probably why it's being credited, up there as high as it is with them, because I don't feel like that would be something they'd normally even take notice of or consider.
Oh well,
but Whoopi, I mean, it's like I never sat down and really like enjoyed Whoopi just kind of by herself. I will tell you, I think Whoopi Goldberg is a great team player. She is the Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
Oh, now you're talking my hometown language.
Whoopi is the Scottie Pippen. When you put Whoopi in with other people, and perfect example, comic relief. Whoopi with Billy and Robin, you'll never laugh harder in your life.
Are we talking about the
I won't,
now?
But I won't be laughing because of her. I'll be laughing because of Robin and Billy.
And that's why she's the Pippen. She gets the ball, she passes it along. I mean, that's what works with Whoopi. She does that with Patrick. She does that with Patrick Swayze and Demi. I mean, she does it great in this movie. She's a great Pippen.
You know what? Like a Martin Short is wonderful and brilliant, but you don't see him like leading role movie or whatever. You want to see him.
Captain Ron, baby.
Yeah, okay. That's not a Kurt Russell movie at all. You're right. No,
No, Ron. Martin Short's clearly the lead though. Captain Ron is the title character, but he's not the lead.
Inner Space is great, but that's got Quaid in it.
Well, and that's what I'm saying.
You're right. No, Martin Short's best is like Father of the Bride for me. Where he's perfectly service of Steve Martin and off of Steve Martin. Yeah, no, I totally agree.
And then you give him his own thing, and we get Clifford. You know what I mean, like that.
God, I love
there's moments of brilliance in Clifford.
I'm just
fucking.
I'm just saying. I get what you're saying. Yeah,
there's definitely moments.
Oh man.
Yeah. that one I could do with.
Oh, Three Amigos again.
Three Amigos is awesome.
Sometimes a great comedian is a good. It's like when they and again now I'll get filmed snob. It's like they tried to do some movies where it was just Bud Abbott without Lou Costello. Okay.
Yeah.
It's all right. Put them together though, team. Fantastic. David Spade by himself. David Spade, Chris Farley. That teamwork.
Chris Farley by himself.
Sometimes you wind up with a Cheech and a Chong where they can both do solo movies that are brilliant and creatively fulfilling. Sometimes. Just saying. Far out, man. Far Out Man doesn't get enough respect on this or any other show. But
Or-
before
I'll give love to the Matt Damon and Ben Affleck duo.
Right.
Oh,
They were
okay.
just they were fun themselves, but mixed.
Yeah.
I love, I freaking loved that Nike movie. I mean, Air or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
Air.
dude, like,
Wow.
the two of
Great.
them couldn't have taken their
Yeah.
careers in like the more different directions at this point. Like Matt Damon's doing thoughtful, weird, indie stuff and do whatever. And Ben Affleck's fucking Batman. And like, I still would like to see them come back and be in a movie together. Like
They are. There's
Oh,
a,
they
there's a
are?
movie. Yeah, it's coming.
Nice.
So how old was young Ian when he first got ghosted?
This was one of my grandparents, my Klink grandparents. I've talked about that.
Oh, a
before,
multi tape, yeah.
They had the, my grandmother was part of that Sixth Sense, the penny VHS club, and
I mean,
Ghost was one of those movies, and it's funny. I rewatched Ghost today, and I always liked Ghost. I always thought it was really a good, solid movie, and I think the reason I like it is because it is a hodgepodge of genres. This is a great Chinese buffet kind of movie, right? Like, I get what I want out of Ghost because they're offering me everything I could want. All right. It's the romance movie. It's the thriller movie. It's the murder mystery. It's the supernatural. It's the comedy. I mean, it's like, this is really a Golden Corral type of
It's
movie.
funny too, because when you think about it, you think of it as that song from the movie, and you think of it as the pottery scene, and you think of it as Ditto, and the ending when she sees his spirit and they give the tearful goodbyes. But in all honesty, like at the end of the day, this movie is more The Frighteners than it is The Notebook. And that's why
I'm sorry.
Wow.
Those shadow
things are
demons
fucking
great,
rad,
yeah.
dude. Yeah.
That messed me up as a kid. I'm not gonna lie.
And they didn't need to do that. That was fucking some thoughtful
No,
fucking
that was
afterlife
awesome.
world, but yeah.
Yeah. That's the part I think
it worked.
that's the part I think that they were interested in of all the supernatural sci-fi, whatever you want to call it, thrillery type of stuff. I feel like they were not that interested in the crime plot at all.
It could have been
clearly.
so easy to be like, she's his unfinished business, and they fucking avoided that shit too. And I props them for that as well.
I'll give you the genius of the Whoopi Goldberg part. She is the only comedy in the movie. Patrick Stewart's not doing comedy. Demi's
Patrick Stewart.
not doing anything in this. You're right.
Patrick Swayze.
He's on the starship right
Patrick
now.
Dempsey did not wow me in this whatsoever.
How do I move the penny?
Oh man, the mashups that are flying through my mind right now.
Gonna blow Chris's stack.
But she's Whoopi is the she's the dessert. Give us the comedy, because
You're right.
Yeah,
but
you're
if I could
absolutely right.
give one complaint to this that I did say to Chris that I noticed the other night, I never noticed before, while really looking at it analytically, is that towards the middle to the end, Swayze starts Swayzing a little more than he should be, or than he does. I'm sorry, earlier, like in the movie, and the way they have him kind of play it out. And I get it, he's dead, and he doesn't play combative or abrasive or like he doesn't have a good back and forth she's pulling off is comedic and whatever. He kind of comes off like a fucking asshole, like not with the Henry VIII singing or anything, but like a lot of that shit you kind of want to be like, yo, fucking leave her alone. Like, you fucking
it's because
that's his character though. That's his character. I mean,
but
he was like that.
He's not
in the
relationship.
relationship.
It's because he cries. You don't want to see Patrick Swayze cry.
Right. But I feel like, and I said to Chris, I don't want to give like Mel Gibson anything, but like for the time, Mel Gibson would have played that aspect of this character to a point where you would have been like, this is charming between the two of them.
Ooh, I would have loved that.
And like, but Patrick Swayze, it just comes off as he's being like, leave that lady alone, man. Like, like she's doing you a favor.
And this is
He's
Mullet.
a stalker.
This could be Mullet.
Honestly, I think, I'll take your Mel Gibson and say that, for make it friendly for everybody, maybe Kurt Russell instead.
Sure, that totally works. 100%.
But Kurt doesn't do the romance as well.
Well,
what about Kevin Bacon?
If you put Goldie instead of Demi, then he certainly
Kevin
does. But
Kevin
we'll get to
Bacon
that.
works too. Yeah.
Kevin Bacon works. Yeah, Kevin Bacon could have done this for sure. So I do want to do a little roll call, see who's tuning in before we get to my first time getting ghosted. I see we get Angie Saunders, the mashup genius, Monica Thyman, our favorite Swede, Michael Ricci, our favorite location scout, Mikey Riffraff, the other mashup genius, Whiskey 41, the great Alex Bonafonte, Dustin Nino of Retro Fiend Radio, makers of the finest canon and martial arts.
El Nino. Happy birthday, El Nino!
Yeah, happy birthday, Nino. We have Horse in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. New first time seeing that name. And Cobra Kai Never Dies, our great friend Joanne. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody.
Apparently it dies after this season.
Dustin Nino says Ghost 2 Electric Boogaloo. That was very close to the title we went with. Monica says, I saw this movie in the theater with friends. We all loved it so much. I'm kind of jealous. This is one I think would play well and fun on a big screen. Angie says, I saw it because I love Patrick. Who doesn't? That's how my mom made this the gateway drug of choice.
Patrick Stewart, she means, of course.
Yes, Patrick Stewart, of course. Yes. No, Jason. She means Jason
I
Patrick.
still would have watched it. Sorry.
Oh, there's definitely a version of this that's Jason Patrick and Jamie Gertz somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
It was made a few years earlier, in between Solar Babies and Lost Boys.
Jamie Gertz in a movie, and I'm there.
There's a version of this that's
that.
fucking, oh my god, I just lost it. You're saying Beetlejuice, but Michael Keaton, like Andy McDowell too.
Oh,
God.
cute.
Like
yeah,
You want to make it worse? Stick Andy McDowell in the movie.
Chris
It doesn't have to be her. Yeah.
Oh my god, yes. We can go to McDowell's after the show and get some tasty treats.
Some VHS tapes. Yeah.
Some VHS
The Golden
tapes.
Arch.
But the Nino says, I can't remember the first time I saw this, but I think it was HBO or a rental. The dude on the train freaked me out. And Michael Ricci, who always knows his stuff, says, I was way too young when I saw this movie, 7 or 8. Definitely watched with my mom, and I was so scared when the demons came for Willie. And yes, Dustin, that was Vincent Schiavelli. It was the guy on the train. He freaked me out.
I love
he's so good in this.
Vincent Schiavelli. He's one of Milos Forman's. He's one of Milos Forman's guys. Like, he does a lot of Milos Forman movies. I was just watching Man on the Moon the other night, and he plays like an ABC executive. And I know he's in a couple other Milos movies. I think he's in The People versus Larry Flint and Amadeus. Yeah, he's in a few. I think there's another one in there that we're forgetting. But he's just one of those guys that great character actor. He could be playing a hobo, a PTA member, anything. And to this day, I haven't had nicotine in, I don't even know, I'm going to do the math, like 10 months or 9 months or whatever it is. But when he breaks that fucking cigarette machine and just goes, oh,
just one drag.
Just one drag. Like, that's how I'm going to feel for the rest of my fucking life. And, I just have to live with that. But that dude is my spirit animal in this movie now, ever since I quit e-cigs. But, let's see what else is in the live chat. Some love for Tony Goldwyn, of course. I love that Tony Goldwyn, first of all, gets his SAG card on Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. One of my favorite facts ever. And I just saw a great movie with Tony Goldwyn, All I Wish, with him and Sharon Stone. So definitely worth checking out for those of you that like rom-coms. You don't see a lot of rom-coms for people in their 40s and 50s. I thought that was a good one. Whiskey 41 says he never saw a ghost. I've seen bits here and there on cable. Never hooked me in. Some love for Whoopi in the chat. Michael Ricci proudly pointing out that it is Whoopi month here on VCR Redux. So if she makes it all the way to the end, she's not going to be happy with your take, but that's all right. We know you're watching Whoopi. Come on the show, and I'll do the
Stay
view.
Stay tuned next week as we do The Associate 2.
How can we keep this going? Oh no, it's theater.
I want to take this back to Theodore Rex again.
Yeah, it's Theodore Rex or I'm out. That's it. So there's some love for Swayze Demi, of course. I feel like you got to mention that this is definitely the turning point movie for Demi. She, I think, could have gone the way of all the other Brat Packers around this time and just sort of faded into obscurity, but she did Ghost, and that bought her enough time to eventually do striptease, G.I. Jane, but something? Now she's getting her respect, rightfully so, in the substance. I knew she had the goods all the way back when she did St. Elmo's Fire, so it's not her fault that Hollywood didn't always know that. But yeah, I think Demi does a lot of the, heavy lifting. It's interesting, of all the people in this movie, this is crucial for Swayze. He doesn't have to do that much in this.
No.
It's
what's his name? Tony Goldwyn's fucking giving a lot. I'm not, not that he's out acting Swayze or whatever, but like they have him doing
He's
a lot
definitely
more.
got more. Yeah,
I mean, he's great. He's great in this too. He's like a super great.
I
Fucking
would
villain.
love to see a list of those who turned this movie down, because clearly this was one of
a
those.
lot of people did. They never said who, but a lot of people didn't want to play dead. They thought that was a bad career move. There was still that kind of thinking.
Hollywood fucking thinking. That's so ridiculous. Can't play
And there's
dead.
a lot of people who I think could have used a hit around this. Like I want to say that there was people like Christopher Reeve who was probably like really desperate for like a hit to turn the corner of a decade. People like that, like Molly Ringwald. I know she turned down Blue Velvet and Pretty Woman, and I know there was another hit that she turned down. I don't think it was it might have been Ghost, but it's interesting how these things go. But to get to my first time with Ghost, it was probably whenever it came out on VHS. My mom was such a Swayze fan. It was like legend. I heard more about Swayze than like any of my uncles growing up. Like, did you know he studied ballet and took football and he did nude dance and he's a tough guy and he's just gorgeous and just look at him and he's Swayze and let's watch Dirty Dancing again. And it's just like my mom loved the Swayzes and the Travoltas. Like if you were like a danceable guy, Kevin Bacon, same thing. So any of those 80s dance movies, Flashdance, Footloose, those
You're
got a lot
basically
of
saying
play.
your mom got drunk on Next of Kin and wine. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, except she didn't even have to drink the wine. All you had to do was open a bottle in like the same house, and she'd smell the fumes, and you're like, "Woof, Swayze!" Like
I remember her actually being a huge fan. I like talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she loved. Yeah. Oh, huge Swayze fan, and rightfully so. Like the early '90s was the time, and I know I referenced this in our Point Break episode, but I feel like the trilogy of Swayze's like Mount Rushmore. Obviously, it's Dirty Dancing, Ghost, and Point Break.
Yeah.
And no disrespect to Roadhouse, that's the fourth one for sure.
No.
I was gonna say, wait.
Get Ghost out and put Roadhouse in.
You gotta have them. I mean, you gotta have them all. I mean, I could make a case for Outsiders over all of these, but that's an ensemble movie.
I'd say that's, yeah.
For John.
But there's something special about this movie for sure. I feel like it appeals to kids. It appeals to young people, old people. It's got something for the guys. It's got something for the girls. It's got something for the ladies. It does a little bit of everything. I don't know. And yeah, Vincent Schiavelli, I can't sing his praises enough. I just love that man. Like he, any sequel pitches that we make, I'm certainly gonna have him be a part of. But it's one of those movies that aged really well too. Like you don't look at it and it doesn't scream. Other than Swayze's like suit and that weird red shirt.
Oh,
there's
his
nothing
shirt.
in this movie that's
Yeah,
there's nothing that's too early '90s. Yeah, the clothes a little bit, but
and the fact that they're living in like 2-story giant apartment in New York City that's
like
open concept, huge windows. And I get like he was in finance.
He's an investment
or whatever,
banker, yeah.
But like the reality of that is that you'd have to be like a foreign,
It's got to be worth $500,000
oligarch.
or a cool million just
Like
for
at
that
this
point.
point.
And
Yeah.
rent.
Right? That's insane. And then he dies, and she's like, "I'm gonna
Even
make
in the
art and
village.
still live
Even
here."
in the
Yeah,
village.
So it is sequel time. So for everyone tuning in, everyone that came in late, what do you and don't you want to see in a Ghost sequel? It's obviously I really like upping the ante on like how out of control, like how ridiculous we can. No. It's just like we're doing the unpitchable movies, right? Swayze's actually been dead for a long time, so I don't think anyone wants any bad CG AI Swayze.
I tell you, I don't want a sequel that actually has Swayze in it. That's
okay.
Good.
done. I mean, Ghost is a perfect example.
I don't think he's that good a method actor.
Well, I just think that if there was a Ghost 2, the 90s are filled with sequels that didn't have the original stars. That we, the in name.
Those are the direct to DVD movies.
Hey, say what you want, but
True.
Meatballs 2 sold enough VHSs to get Meatballs 3 and Meatballs 4, Meatballs to the rescue. So I don't want to hear.
Yeah, but now you're just talking about a movie that wasn't exactly like the creme de la creme of movies.
Well, let's be honest. Ghost 2 is Meatballs 3's summer job. That's the Ghost. So that's Ghost 2. Sally.
Until Jamie Kennedy picked up the mask.
Oh man.
So the cool
Ooh.
part about this though is that like technically anyone who walks away from the light for any reason after their death can now pick up the mantle of the sequel in whatever story you want to tell.
Oh yeah,
and it's and it works perfectly.
Yeah, like I don't want to sequel this because I think it's trash. But wouldn't you want to see Demi Moore like dead? And her
and
her,
the way
and
you said that was just really funny to me.
Every day of my life. No.
and her navigating this world, maybe, and like, yeah, you can have I'm sorry, you can have a CGI Swayze in this world because it looked, it would just look the same basically, as it did in the original, just a little funkier, but you can have her looking for him.
But he ascended.
Yeah, but she can ascend too.
You do the
Well, then
Star
they're just
Wars-
in heaven looking for
You
each
gotta
other.
find it in heaven.
You do the Star Wars thing at the end where it's
That's a weird.
But she's in limbo. She's in limbo, and she's got to
Right.
ascend. She's got to get over there so
Right.
she can go.
Well, that's the
back to
idea.
Swayze.
Yeah, but he's already. I think maybe she's got something else in her life that she needs to whatever. She's got a kid. She's got whatever that they're getting into trouble. They're doing whatever.
Oh
she tries
my
to look out
God.
for them. Gets
What if
herself
you
killed
did-
doing it.
What if you made a chances are with this, like she,
I love being Robert De Niro. Or Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey, like Robert De Niro.
Messing those things up left and right today. God dang.
So Patrick Swayze gets, basically he comes back and he's in somebody else's body.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh.
Whoopi Goldberg dies.
No, it's got to be a male.
Honestly,
so
well,
Demi Moore, so Demi Moore can fall in love with
Oh no,
that
you
guy.
gotta have if you're gonna have Whoopi, you have her come back.
He gets resurrected.
I think unsung heroes in this movie are Whoopi's sisters. I think they're great. I would watch a movie just the two of them, like on an adventure. Like they finally get the touch. They get, what's the story about them coming into touch with their medium powers and like, how wacky and zany and like Weekend at Bernie's. Can you take that? I would totally go.
I don't know if they meant to do this, but this occurred to me today. This might be kind of a weird, deep, whatever thing. But like, as far as like supernatural, spiritual lore goes, the dude, what's his name? The dude on the train, the actor's name.
Vincent Schiavelli.
Vincent Schiavelli. He so like there's poltergeists and there's spirits, right? And the poltergeists are the ones that usually can fly around and move stuff and blow up your kitchen and whatever else, and spirits can't do shit. And what lore says, like a poltergeist is essentially just a spirit that's not got moved on for so long that they turn into and they form into these fucking crazy, like they have no like self-conscious awareness of who or what they were anymore, and it turns them into this powerhouse force that can actually move things in the real world. And before he jumps back into that train and never comes back into the movie or whatever, you kind of see a little of that. I just kind of wonder if like that was like I don't know, if they knew what they were doing there or whatever. Like it kind of goes to say like this guy is a poltergeist in the waiting. Like this guy has lost it. Like he's helping him, and all of a sudden he's like, "Who are you? What is this? Where am I?" And like, fucking loses it.
Yeah.
There's definitely stories to tell with that guy for sure. Like, that's all I've always wondered about that.
I had an interesting idea of, because again, going off of what I said earlier, what I love about Ghost is it gives me everything. This is a one-stop shop movie, and so I kind of, if there was a sequel, I kind of would like them to go do it that way. But one of the things that would be interesting is, I think a great replacement of Swayze would be Matthew McConaughey. I think Matthew McConaughey could totally do the Ghost thing. I think it would work just fine with him. But let's say this company they worked for, right? I don't know how or whatnot, but they're having to reboot some old computers, right, or something like that. They're having to erase.
Why am I getting the taste of Lawnmower Man?
Not yet. But like they're redoing, and all of a sudden Tony, what's his last name?
Goldwyn.
Tony Goldwyn, his ghost somehow has come back. His poltergeist has come back, and he's needing to still get to this money. That's his unfinished business. He really wants to get the transfer of those funds, right? And
To do what with?
I don't know. Looking at me, I'm just pitching.
Long gone.
He's a nitpicky.
I mean, I could see him maybe vengeful spirit to Demi Moore.
That's what I'm saying. And so Matthew McConaughey is not Patrick Swayze. He's another guy who there's a similar situation. He ends up dying, right? And has to kind of, go through the same thing. However, you get not Patrick Swayze, but another ghost who says, hey, this character helped, this one guy once. And right. I can't help it, but because they used to do the movies together a lot, but if you don't have Vincent, what's his last name, Chris?
Chiavelli,
you get Danny DeVito. I would love to see Danny DeVito as a ghost.
Sure, yeah, and not in Beetlejuice 2, but like
but something. If you had taken that moment in Beetlejuice but made it cooler, not comedy, made it this serious kind of creepy.
Oh, he could have done that train scene too. If there anyone else could have done something like that, I could see him.
Yeah, you have something like that, or actually, who's a great actor that nobody gives credit for? It's a guy named I'm going to blank on his name, but he's in Rob Zombie movies. His name's Blake. I can't think of his name now, but he Rob Zombie always casts him in movies.
That's probably why he doesn't get more movies.
No, he's a good actor. He does a bunch of other stuff too. It's going to bug me. I have to look it up. But he would be good as kind of Ghost. But essentially, Ghost 2 would be a movie that you're kind of remaking the first one, but it's like Speed 2. I mean, it's the first movie. Die Hard 2, Die Harder is the first movie. I think Ghost 2 is the same movie, just done a little different. Same setup. You could even reverse it, where it's the wife.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I was thinking, you do that with Tom Hanks, and I'm like, that's literally Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah,
he's got a dead wife, and it's like a rom-com. It's a reverse. You know what I mean? It's kind of a. There's a lot of this,
that's the thing is that
very
what
90s
you want to
plot,
do. You want to do is you want to have some kind of weird social dynamic that leads into some kind of mystery of like why this person was killed. And they have to follow whatever. I mean, we kind of get it pretty quick with this, but then they have to like follow around the living and navigate this weird, limbo that they're in to try to understand who in their own life turned against them and made this happen, or find that out, and you do that in an interesting and like original kind of way, and you just use the same ghost rules that are in this movie.
Right.
And you have some of the characters back.
Have a thriller plot. Have a serial. How cool would it be if there was a serial killer plot?
You could do anything.
You're getting Exorcist 3 with it.
Now you got a cop scenario again. You get Whoopi Goldberg to come back and play this character again. She's now older though. She's more. How she's looking on The View now, which I think would actually be kind of fun.
And that's how you have Demi Moore come back into it too. Is that, you know what I mean? Like she's the one that has to be. If you have Demi Moore in it, and then Demi Moore has to help this person, the only person she would know to turn to that would have any idea on how to do that is Whoopi Goldberg. They have to hunt her down.
That'd be great.
Well, you would never get this greenlit unless you had Demi and Whoopi in it.
Oh, you would.
I think you could at the time. Warren Beatty and Annette Bening. I could have seen that version of this as well. Maybe
they've been doing some weird shit where they're like, if it's old IP, fucking do it again.
Bring it back. Yeah. But I do like that. I mean, great scene is Whoopi Goldberg. She opens the door, slams the door right away. It's that great kind of comedy moment. By the way, the guy is Richard Brake. Is the guy's name? Richard Brake, fantastic actor.
There are some fantastic pitches in the live chat. So I don't want to keep them waiting anymore. I see Angie and Mike, the Mash of Geniuses, their pitch. A married couple with the wife being a journalist uncovers a government conspiracy which leads to her untimely death. The husband has unknowingly had the evidence in a USB drive, and she stays to protect him. She goes to Oda Mae Brown's cousin, Ida Brown, played by Wanda Sykes. I'm so in.
All right, I'd watch Melinda. I'd watch.
And they work together to find the killers. Yes. Oh, take my money. That's win the golden VCR.
I would watch that. It's not Ghost 2. It's better, but it's
It's
but-
Ghosted.
I love that. That is genius. Wanda Sykes, yes, please. I've been a fan of hers for
and
decades now.
it fixes one of the biggest problems I have with Ghost 1 or the original Ghost, and that's Whoopi Goldberg. You're not in there.
This is another pitch
Terrible,
in the
man.
live chat, though. Come from Gold's Code, so Ian, you might want to cover your ears. But
Oh,
Gold's
I already
Code's
did.
pitch. Oda Mae goes to Ohio and meets several bladers who died on Devil's Backbone. Now she must team up with Mitchell to let the spirits of the bladers rest in Ghostborn. Rest in peace, brah. These airborne pitches just get better and better, and they get more delicious every time, and I am so here for it. Whiskey 41 with a pitch. His pitch: a widowed sculptor is working on her masterpiece in solitude when a man posing as a police officer sneaks behind her and offers unsolicited help. Steven Seagal in Ghosts of Russian Journalists.
Oh, for gosh
Oh, I'd
sake.
give anything to see Steven Seagal recreating that scene as Patrick Swayze with anyone.
Oh my God,
Wanda
that would
Sykes
be.
would be great. Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like,
I almost want Steven Seagal to play the medium though. That way he has to like play like fat Steven Seagal has to play romance with someone. Like that would be hilarious.
Oh
He
my
makes
God.
feel like maybe we should have gotten like a genuine hardcore love scene between Whoopi Goldberg and Demi Moore.
Says
That's
It's-
Patrick
yeah.
Swayze.
being
This
crazy.
We were watching it. We were
I'm
watching it. And
saying-
Steve's like, "Fuck you, cowards."
That, do you hear that? That's not a normal thing on a ship. That's a ghost behind the door. Come on, open up your brains. Think
So,
about it.
A couple more pitches. Also, Scotty B says Ghost is kind of the Crow without the violence. It's interesting. I don't know
I
why.
actually buy that. That's actually.
I don't know why I prefer Ghost so much to the Crow. Then I don't know what that's about. But I see Caitlin Altman, America's Next Top Model, in the chat, and her pitch: Ghost 2 Judgment Day. So whatever that is, I'm here for it. The James Cameron version, the Linda Hamilton version, maybe. She did a lot of movies with James Belushi, and if you're telling me there's some like direct-to-cable James Belushi, Linda Hamilton version of Ghost, I would watch the shit out of that. Yes.
Jim Belushi as the poltergeist.
No, he's the ghost. He's the Swayze. He's the poor man's son.
Well,
this is like the Mr. Destiny.
I don't buy that, but
the Mr. Destiny and Separate Lives era Jim Belushi. Yes, please.
Stop with your touch-tone James Belushi. I am done with you. Okay.
Hey, only one man was taking care of business the right way back then, and it was James Belushi. But Dustin Nino also with a pitch. His pitch: when a vengeful ninja spirit possesses Christy, the ghost of Sam returns to help her boyfriend battle an ancient cult before she's lost to darkness forever. Ghost Ninja 4: The Possessionation. Oh man, that is brilliant.
I would watch that. I would watch that.
Yes.
I think I'd watch.
Yes. We saw there's a whole slew of ghost movies that we didn't get in the 90s. And somehow we got
that we did, like Ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ghost Dad, thank you. which I love. He opened,
Ghost Dad.
Ghost Dad actually opened a few weeks before Ghost. Like 3 weeks before Ghost. And Ghost Dad,
really?
I looked this up because I'm all about like keeping the receipts on this shit. Ghost Dad opened on June 29th, 1990, and it opened in 7th place behind Another 48 Hours, Total Recall, RoboCop 2, Die Hard 2, Dick Tracy, and Days of Thunder. Ghost opened July 13th, 1990. Ghost actually, this is amazing because Ghost is the #1 movie of 1990, yet it opens in 2nd place behind Die Hard 2.
Yeah.
Which I think is wild. It's that you'll never see that again. I know people say that you'll never see a movie open in 2nd place.
Was a thing back
So
then.
Bruce Willis beat out Demi Moore.
Ironically, yeah.
Another man who was willing to play dead, and it worked really well for him.
Hey.
Yeah.
When was that? We were Ghost crazy. That's when like Casper came out in the around this time too, right? The 90s.
Yeah, that was about the same time, and maybe
I
there's
have a theory of that.
I don't know why everyone loved that.
Okay, let's hear this. What's your theory?
Unsolved mysteries.
That's your whole theory?
I think we all went nuts
Brilliant.
with Unsolved mysteries, and Ghost became a big thing because this is when I really did see ghost things happen.
I don't see the correlation, but okay.
Because they always had ghost stories on Unsolved Mysteries, like And I think more kids got creeped out by Unsolved Mysteries than they did any horror movie in the entire 90s.
Somebody figured out in the late 80s, early 90s that they were like, wait, ghosts don't have to be like Victorians in chains. We can modernize that shit and make it fucking spooky, you know? And then once they figured that out, it was like a whole new world of, you know, plus it's an easy effect to do. And it's, you know,
come to think of it, I'm just riffing on this Judgment Day thing. And now I'm thinking about Michael Biehn in the Swayze role. I'm sorry, I know that's a bad habit. We're just like, what about this actor? What about that actor?
Yeah,
and not talking story stuff. But like, I just always have to stress that I wish Michael Biehn got more of a chance to do like dramatic work and stuff.
Well, maybe he turned this down
Navy SEALs.
Dead.
Maybe he turned this down, to do Navy. No, because he played Dead in Aliens or Terminator. He would have played Dead in this. That's kind of Michael Biehn's shtick. Maybe he didn't want to get typecast as a dead guy. I don't know. But
another dead guy.
Hey, how many times do I have to let the girl get all the glory? But I would have seen that version of it. Or like the Michael Pare. These are the guys that like should have gotten more of these dramatic swings. Than they did.
Michael Pare would have been awesome.
Michael Pare would have been great. Yeah.
I think you know before. I think Kurt Russell would have been absolutely great with this.
Yeah, I could have definitely seen this as a Kurt and
Kurt's
Goldie
my
joint
action
for sure.
hero. I don't like Kurt as the romance.
But again, like let the man do some real acting.
I mean, he is.
So could you
right,
like? So here's the thing. Could you like? I mean, we're naming all these actors and stuff like that, and like, oh, they could have done this, they could have done this. So in a sense, what you're saying is that Patrick Swayze being in this doesn't make this a hit.
I don't think anyone.
No. I think it does. I think it does make it a hit. Yeah. I think that's he's the reason.
I don't think it was because of Patrick Stewart. Patrick Swayze.
he's box office. Demi Moore wasn't box office at this time, and neither was Whoopi. I love Jumpin' Jack Flash, but that movie didn't.
It's probably what makes this a hit. It's not what makes this a great movie. I don't think it's a great movie, but like I think there's multiple people that could have came in and played any one of these roles.
I still think Mel Gibson was like the perfect.
Yeah, that's probably the right choice.
I would have seen Mel Gibson in this,
especially if you have with Whoopi Goldberg and his dynamic, especially. I
feel like it's not one person that made. I mean, like I said, I don't like the movie, but I don't think it's one person made this a hit. I think Demi Moore, Patrick Swayze, and Whoopi Goldberg later on. But the reality, like if you're seeing a movie poster with Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore, that's selling.
Yeah, that's what makes it a hit. But I think Ian's right. I think what makes this good, whatever, is that it's a weird smorgasbord. It's a weird, eclectic, little movie that gives you a whole lot of different things that a lot of movies didn't have the balls to do.
Well, it was the date movie that the girl goes to, and then she drags her boyfriend. He's like, oh gosh, and then there's the killer plot stuff, and he's like,
right, it all works, but it all works for everyone.
It all works for everybody. Yeah. Grandpa enjoyed it because it had some ghost to it or something. Like it just fits.
Also say I would love to see more of like the shadows, like that whole thing, like that whole shtick. Like
I
think there's a lot of opportunities you could go with there. Like someone who
everything they show us out of this, out of this afterlife, again, world building or whatever. Everything is in the right direction.
Oh, you fucking Keanu and you Constantine it. Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Constantine.
No, Constantine, because what happens to a guy who gets sucked into the shadows who doesn't deserve it? Like, what does he go through to get back out of it? That's a cool movie. That's a movie I want to see, regardless of who's in it.
Could you get away with doing this as a show?
Well, it's not. That's not this movie anymore.
Chris, you just did a great Family Guy cutaway where all the ghosts are sitting there. They're like, "We're sorry."
What's that? What happens if Drag Me to Hell? What happens if the movie Drag Me to Hell was a romantic drama from the 90s?
These little guys kicking the dirt.
There was some romance in it.
They tried with Highway to Hell same year, I think, 1990. Christy Swanson and Chad Lowe.
Get out of here.
Yes, with Ben Stiller. That's right. Oh, nowhere else you're gonna get a Highway to Hell reference, folks, but you get it here. Also in the chat though, I see some Mr. Destiny love, courtesy of Alex Bonafonte requesting Mr. Destiny 2.
Stop it, people. Stop
Hey,
it.
Michael Caine, it's his finest work,
It's-
unquestionably.
James Belushi is either the principal or Red Heat. It is not a comedy. No, that is where he fits the best. Hold the
Clearly a
baseball
man.
I
Clearly a
think he's the
man who.
best when he's teamed up with a dog.
Game
All
night.
right,
Yeah.
that's a
they're
mic
like-
drop.
Yeah, they're like looking for drugs or something. It doesn't matter. It's fine. I just want to see him talk to a dog for 90 minutes.
That's true.
Jerry,
I
get
love
out of
it.
that
That's what he
car.
shines.
Jerry.
It's the same thing. That's why I love Tony Danza and a gorilla. It's the
Right.
same concept.
Or Tom Hanks and a dog. Or
Tom Hanks in a beach ball.
Just reference going bananas.
Yeah, man, go bananas.
Oh,
Like,
is that?
Mickey, you SOB. Old
Mickey
lady.
breaks that one out, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to understand. This man just referenced a movie from the 1980s, not only with Tony Danza and a monkey, but Tony Danza, a monkey, and Danny DeVito. That is what this man just referenced, okay? This is why you come to this show.
That's gold.
I
That's
could
gold.
somebody let Tony Danza be in a movie.
Well,
I feel like for the
I'm
five
just glad.
gauntlets.
I'm just glad he chose the right project to be in.
Right.
feel like for the-
I feel like Danny DeVito and the monkey were looking at each other like, what the fuck?
And
Come
it's
on.
Danny DeVito with an accent. It's not even just Danny DeVito. It's Danny
What kind of
DeVito
accent?
with an Italian
The
accent.
Italian accent.
Oh, God.
Oh, you gotta see the commercial.
They're like, Danny DeVito, we got to give you a fucking terrible Italian accent so that at least everyone seems like they're on the same page here because you're blowing the monkey and fucking Danza out of the water with every scene.
They were doing blow, is what they were doing when they made that movie.
The monkey, too?
Yes.
We're off the rails, so I have to see what happens if we unite all 5 Infinity Stones of obscure movie references, and if I reference A Dangerous Place with Corey Feldman. I just want to see if lightning strikes us all dead tonight because we've
Get
all
outta
peaked as
here.
creative souls.
Blow away or go home.
Oh God! All right, now we're back down to earth. You didn't even get me with a fast getaway. Well, we're just about out of time, folks.
Shit, I don't think we did it.
This
I
could be
think we
Dream a
kinda
Little
did, you know.
Dream. This
Dream
could
a
be
Little
Dream a Little Dream.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good movie.
you know something? Oh, give me the Corey Haim version of this, and I would.
Oh,
Cole Eggert
yeah.
and Corey Haim. Yes, I'm there. Take my
Dude,
money.
I love how sometimes the show just devolves into
You
fantasy
could've-
casting
how
and then
about
better
this?
movies.
You could have had it as a high school, high school spirit,
Oh, my boyfriend's back. Yeah, they did it. They totally did
Ah,
it.
yeah,
Oh, my
yeah.
That
boyfriend's
show that
back.
just
Yeah.
came out, School Spirits. That's seems to
Oh,
be very
yeah,
popular.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you
good
know,
too.
yeah. It works. You could have
Or
Ghost
wait a
anyway.
minute. What if Demi Moore was pregnant? Like she got pregnant. She didn't realize till like later on or whatever like that. Like, she's
Oh,
pregnant,
And
and it's
right.
Patrick Swayze's
Swayze's
kid.
got to
That's-
come back.
Dang it.
Ghost
That is
Dad.
the Mandarin oranges of
Ghost
say that
Dad.
they did not put
Yeah.
on this smorgasbord. You're right.
The ghost
I
dad we
like that.
deserve.
You should have been
Yeah,
pregnant.
the proper, yeah. And it's
Well-
it's a combination. It's Ghost Dad 2 Judgment Day.
Get out of here. I'm
And-
done. Okay.
Oh
and
man,
she
Ghost
names the kid Ditto.
the possibilities are
Oh,
endless.
You're on fire for not liking this movie. If we were a think tank actually trying to make this happen, you seeded the project just now.
I'm the guy that walks in the room and I'm like, you guys are fucking overthinking this thing. Call the
Yeah.
kid Ditto. Be over with it. Go.
She was pregnant the whole time.
Stop the
Yeah.
cigar, walk out. Yeah.
I
Did
think
it.
Mickey just
Son of a bitch
pulled.
did it.
Ditto.
I think Mickey just pulled the star Magic Jackson Jr. It's a deep
Ditto.
cut reference. For those of you that get it, enjoy it. Before we wrap it up, though, is there anything you guys have got coming up in the works you want to let the people at home know about? Any Ian, you got any articles coming out? B-Movie Challenge?
Yes, just this week we released for the B Movie Challenge the infamous film that you saw in Gremlins 2 when the vampiric host showed Octopus Man movie. But it was from a movie actually known as Octoman. So, check out the B Movie Challenge for Octoman. And coming next week, my B Movie Challenge of the Trucksploitation classic Trucker's Woman.
Nice.
Trucker's Woman. That sounds like a dream and a gas station come true. I actually look forward to reading that one.
It's like eating gas station sushi, and it's really good.
I somehow know you've done that. I don't know how I know. I just know. Well, I guess it's time for me to say then that you Fandom fans might want to tune in next Wednesday at 9 p.m. when Ian gets sand in his hoo-ah for our Scent of a Woman episode. As always, if you enjoyed this video, the best way to help is to smash that like button and leave a comment telling us what movie or TV franchise that you want us to cover on a future episode of VCR Redux. And since you're already doing that, you might as well go ahead and like, subscribe, and follow Fandom, Spotlight, and Pop Culture Punk. Till then, back up those Betamax, rewind those Laserdiscs, and we'll see you at the movies.